You have reached your destination.
Yep. So I was successful, I think very much so, in finishing all that, because the rear end is very stable and I don't see a whole lot of flex. I see a little bit that is natural to fiberglass, but not the saggy that it used to be. So I've also removed all of the 2x4s that I held all of this together, and I'm beginning to see I'm beginning to, well, I've got the plan forming in my mind. That's what I'm doing. Because here it is over here too. I've got that there. That's one of the natural body pieces where this thing would mount to a normal C2 frame rather. And then all of that, and that same area there. This wood is not very, shall we say, structurally sound. It's not in bad shape, it's not in great shape. So I need to come up with a means of keeping it all together. And what I'll likely do is I could sandwich metal of that length and width, you know, same shape, once I get it rounded down to where I need it to be, with another layer of wood, which I may do because, you know, like I say, look at that. I am not familiar with a way to unlaminate or delaminate the fiberglass. And I could, I suppose, cut the entire piece off and start from fresh, but I don't necessarily want nor I need to do that. I'll put a piece of wood on top, laminate the hell out of it with fiberglass so it soaks in everywhere, nice and stiff, and then go from there. So I had given a lot of thought to removing these things, right, and just keeping the body attached via that point and on the other side and in the rear, basically 4 points, and then something in the back that I would rig up. And again, I don't necessarily think I want to do that yet. Well, I'm not going to do that, period. I'm going to leave these pieces here. But right here, right about that point there, is where the frame begins to tilt up. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do there. I don't know yet. I think I'm going to stop for the night and think about this. I tend to come up with great solutions once I sleep on them. And given how this wood is just about to give, I'm not about to crank the body back up off the frame yet. So that's it for now. All right, well, here they are. I have yet to fit them up against the car. Honestly, I was really more interested in eating some German sausage and drinking a couple of beers than fitting these up to my car. The body, I will at some point. So here's what we have so far. That's a, what do you call it? Chassis mount point. I have another chassis mount point here. Let me zoom in. And I have equals on the other side, on the right side. Okay, so what I'm about to do is take off these chains and double up the, maybe I don't have to double up, but well, fuck it, you'll see it. I'm gonna do it and then I'll show it to you. Okay, so we're gonna do this in stages. There's the beer talking. Look at the top of the wheel and the top of the arch there. It's 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. And then look over here, and it's maybe 2 inches. So I'm going to lower that front portion just a titch. I know it's not centered, but I'm going to fix that later. And I am just about where I want to be with regard to height of the body on the frame. Okay, now the height of the body above the frame is going to inform where the gosh dang it, the radiator. Thank you. The radiator, where the radiator will go, somewhere around there, as well as how I'm going to build the firewall and the rear firewall. I have an idea with the front firewall. Came to me a dream, no kidding. And I think I like the idea because it also informs how the hood will latch to something. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. That's much later on down the road, but you know, power dreams. So enough for now. I'm gonna, I think, probably hop in the shower and get a lot of wood dust off of me. And this is how I'm going to put the back up, hold the back up. This side here that I've put grooves into will go up against the car itself, the car body. This will be where it gets bolted to the frame. I'll press pause and show you how it's going to be. A little bit of dust in the air. It is bolted right up into the frame, right? I want this thing to be able to go up and down. Oh, let me back up. I want the body to be lifted off easily without me having to really get in there, and so forth. So, I have bent, and I've drilled, I've covered this in paint. The holes there are for the fiberglass to come through on its own and you know, offer something to bite into. I've got the reverse side, as you saw, scored up, so again the fiberglass is able to grab onto something, and so I'll put some both behind this and then a couple of layers over it to hold it in there. And once it's done, it's nice and done. Same thing on the other side.